Hi, I'm Katrina, and this is Boldly Challenging Ableism. I'm your host, Katrina Simons. I'm the Community Program Specialist at the Institute on Community Integration at the University of Minnesota. This program explores various topics that impact people with disabilities in our community. Each episode addresses a different aspect of our society within the context of ableism. Ableism is the prejudice that stems from the belief or belief system that assumes someone is less capable or less worthy because of a real or perceived difference in ability or function. On this program, we hope to answer some questions you may have been afraid to ask, or maybe some you didn't even know you had. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy the conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Boldly. My guest today is Matt McClean. We're going to talk a little bit about intersectionality, and I'm really excited to have them here with us. So welcome to Boldly, and thanks for joining us. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Hi. Can you introduce yourself to us a little bit?
I'm Matt McClean. I am from Buffalo, New York. I am a trans male autistic person who is 43. I am the travel advocate / peer mentor to the Center for Self-Advocacy, which is an organization led by people with disabilities to help people with disabilities. I also work with the state's Self-Advocacy Association, and I help lead conferences and work a lot about it, look in the disability field.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about your identities?
Sure. I identify, again, as an autistic trans male. I didn't find out that what my diagnosis was until 28. My mom knew that there was something special or different about me when I was 6 months old. When she took me to a neurologist, and he told her that there was nothing that she, at the time, could do. So just stimulate her and, leave it at that. And my mom was a little angry. And so she went home, called her best friend and said, you know what the doctor said? And then she found out about early intervention. And I thus went to early intervention. And I got a PTOT, and I worked really hard. And by the age of 3, I started talking. And by the age of 4, I started walking. And I have even beaten the odds that doctors kept putting on me. They said, you're going to graduate from high school, not go to college. Well, in June of 2000, I graduated from high school. In August of that year, I went to college. And in May of 2005, I graduated from there. Not only did I go to college, I went to college out of state and prospered there.
Where did you go to college?
West Virginia Wesleyan. It's in a small town just an hour south of Morgantown.
And did you like it? Are you happy you went there?
Yeah, I'm very happy that I went there. People were very accommodating, and it was a good experience.
And then you said that you were 28 when you...
Yes. I didn't find out that what my diagnosis was until 28.
What led you to seek out an autism?
What led me to speak out was that, first of all, my mom got a job in Washington, D.C. to help parents and other people to get resources for their children. And my mom came across this group full of autistic people, and she said, "Oh, maybe you should go to this group and see what it is." And I went to this group, and I came home and said, "Mom, I went to a place full of me." And so my mom investigated further and found me a program called College Internship Program. And it was for people with young adults to learn how to live independently. Well, I kind of knew half of it, but so in January 2008, I went to Bloomington, Indiana. And I'm not sure if I initiated or they initiated. So I went to the staff psychiatrist, or psychologist, excuse me, and his student tested me. And in May of 2005, they said, "Yes, you're autistic." So I drove deep in what autism is and how it's stuff. And my mom, I advocate because of my mom. Of course, she says she advocates because of me. So I think that we really need to advocate. And if we don't advocate, we're just going to be pushed down even further, and we'll be, invisible and not part of the society. And we need to be at the table.
So you were 28 when you got your autism diagnosis. And then I'm just wondering, how old were you when you realized that although you were born a female, you identify as male?
I learned, or it finally hit me that I was actually trans male is 11 years later.
11 years later. Okay, so you're like 39.
Yeah, 39.
39, okay.
It was ironically on my father's birthday, so didn't mean that.
And when you told your family that you identify as male, even though you were born a female, how did they respond?
They responded very well. My father was like, okay. But my mom and dad and my friends, my close family friends, would accidentally call me she for every few months to years. And so I had to correct them. But everybody seemed to have been okay with it.
Okay. Do you think that they responded differently than they would have if you did not have a disability previously? If you did not already identify as having a disability?
I kind of think they would, because if I were not disabled, they would be like, why you shouldn't do this or something like that. I mean, my family is progressive, but since I have a disability, especially the extended family, I have conservative uncles and aunts, and I think they would respond differently if I were not disabled. They would have a big problem with it. And I think they accept it because their brother and or sister is their child.
When you decided to start taking hormones, what kind of response did you get from the people that knew you?
They were okay with it. They were also curious and were asking, why do you take them? Or, what's the benefit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they were worried at all about it, or they doubted that you had made the right decision, or no?
I think they were worried. Not that I made the wrong decision, but I think it was maybe putting chemicals that might give me personality changes that they were worried about.
Okay. Autonomy can be a very difficult thing to find and to keep when somebody lives with a disability. Do you think you found it? Do you think you have autonomy?
Kind of. I mean, I'm getting closer and closer to who I really am. I think that a little bit more mental mental training or mental counseling and a phalloplasty, which is basically a creation of a penis, would make me feel like I am Matthew. Unfortunately, I'm having a lot of health issues, so phalloplasty has to wait for a few years.
Okay. The two of us have never met, and I'm just wondering, is your disability visible or invisible?
No, it is not visible. But I do present, I do weird things that people would probably think I have a mental illness, which I do, but I'm not schizophrenic.
Because I was going to ask how having an invisible disability or a hidden disability impacts the way people react when you meet with them. How does it impact how people respond to you?
People usually, when I reveal I'm a disability, I'm autistic, they would usually say something like, "Oh, you don't look autistic," or "You're too small to be autistic," and I'm like, "Okay, a little bit of an insult there. You don't know anything about autism, and well, you're a joke."
Do you think having two identities helped you find your autonomy sooner or have an easier time finding it, or do you think it made it harder?
At first, because I was having a mental breakdown and having issues, it was harder, but then probably a year and a half or a year later, I started seeing me who I really should have been. I should have been a male. I should have done this earlier, but I also believe that I'm not a Christian, but I believe that there's something out there, God, whatever, that is controlling things. And they or whatever intended for me to find out who I truly, started finding out who I truly am at 39 and me having the process of truly finding the true me.
If it's okay with you, and you don't have to say yes, is it okay if I ask you to share your age with the audience?
Yes, I am 43.
Okay, I think you actually said that in question 1, so I apologize, but
That's okay.
you came out as trans male when you were 39, so you've now had 4 years. Yes, I did the math right. 39 plus 4 is 43. So do you think in those 4 years you feel like you've come into yourself a little bit more than you had been before?
I have found out more about myself in the last 4 years than I have found out any time in my life. It's like a huge rebirth.
Well, I'm glad that you are getting to experience that, because it's never too late to experience a rebirth like that.
No.
What advice do you have for someone who is struggling with their identity right now? Either someone who's in their youth or someone who's older. What advice do you have for that person?
I would say take your time. Just explore, find out what works, what doesn't work. Listen to your body, listen to your mind. Just be patient with the progress.
Okay. And then my other question is, if you have support staff, do you find it, do you ever have difficulty working with them because you identify as trans?
No. Luckily, I have young staff. And I find that the younger they are, the more accepting they are of trans people.
What do you want our audience to do or remember to be good humans?
Well, I want them to understand that everybody, and I mean everybody, is human. Disabled, not disabled, trans, LGBTQ, immigrants, whatever. We're all human. And as the Bible says, since I used to be Christian, be unto, do what you respect.
Do unto others what you would do to yourself or whatever.
Yes. And that's in every religion and every ethics and everything. If you simply do that, it would be much better. And basically open yourself to learn about other cultures and societies and other people.
So be open-minded and educate yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the advocacy work that you do and the different areas of advocacy that you work in?
I just recently just found that I advocate every single minute, second, hour of the day because I have a disability and and that there is still a lot of discrimination going on out there. Um, I would say I spend more of my time advocating with the disability field. Have always been that way, and I deeply want people with disabilities to be respected, to be heard, to know that they're human and they can make decisions and choices and have feelings. I also, I work. My brain went blank. I work and advocate in the trans front since. I mean, I've always been trying to advocate that trans people are humans. We didn't sin. We're not evil people. But I've been, let's say, bumping up the advocacy since Trump became president. And that now we essentially have to be our birth names. I have to be back to Margaret Amanda, which I'm not doing anyway. Or trans athletes trans women or trans athletes cannot play in sports. I'm not an athlete, but I am a trans person, and that affects me. On Tuesday, tomorrow, I am participating in a rally in front of City Hall in the center of the city. I will be speaking about the intersectionality between disabilities and trans people, and how we need we need to be there and we need to be part of the table because we're also part of the trans community, and you cannot, throw us under the bus and ignore us and say, "Oh, these people, they don't know anything and we don't need them." Well, that's not true. They do need us. So I will be speaking about that tomorrow.
Is it going to rain tomorrow there?
It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be windy, but it's supposed to be warmish in the maybe high 50s.
What are you most worried about now that the Trump administration has, taken over and has bullied everyone pretty much? What is your number one concern?
I've been worried since 2016 of this field. That's 9 years. I am absolutely terrified that Trump's America is going to be like Hitler and the Holocaust in Germany. And the poem that says, "First they came to these people and I did nothing," and so on. I'm the second one. I belong in the second one in the line. And I have two disadvantages. I'm trans, I'm disabled, and I'm afraid that I will be arrested and taken to a concentration camp and eventually killed.
That's a very scary thing.
And I've had people that said, "Oh no, you don't need to worry about it. That's not going to happen."
Like we said that before.
As time goes by, it seems gets
worse and worse.
Yeah.
Are there other things you worry about as well? Or really, is that just the thing that keeps you up all night?
I guess I'm worried more, maybe segregation. I'm also worried not the Trump administration or what the government is going to do, but I've been worried for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of being attacked and killed or attacked and killed because I'm a trans male. And I've had people that say, oh, you don't need to worry about it. It's okay. Well, guess what? I mean, even though trans women are usually the victims, trans male people also get killed and because they're trans male.
Definitely. Definitely. Do you have a strong support network where you live? Do you have other people you can talk to about this, or like other people who share your concerns? Where you like that you feel like you guys can be together?
I used to talk to my mom, but my mom has Alzheimer's and she's physically there and steadily not being the mom I used to know.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thanks. That support system has gone out the drain. I have my brother, my mom's best friend, and my father, but I can't talk to them about these things because they would ridicule me and they would say, oh no, you don't have to worry about that, or you being silly, or some stuff like that. And I don't really feel comfortable talking about that.
Yeah. Are there other trans people like in your area or like maybe even on Facebook that you feel like you could connect with? And does that make it better? Or maybe it doesn't make it better, so.
I don't know better. I mean, I have a coworker who is a non-binary person, and I am working with a non-binary person about the rally tomorrow. And I'm not at the I can talk to them yet.
Is this your first rally?
No, I've done many rallies, many protests, spoken in some of them, even got arrested, which was in 2008, and that was against the war. And I got arrested just for crossing the police line.
Really?
Yep.
Did you have to go to like jail or did you just have to go to the police station?
I went to jail along with at least 100 more people.
Wow. How long were you there for?
Probably 7 to 8 hours.
Okay. So you didn't have to stay overnight?
Well, it was at night.
Oh, it was at night? So you had to stay overnight?
Theoretically, yes. It was like, I got arrested at first, the first time I got arrested at, I think, 10 or 11, and then I was released at like 7 or 8. And the second time, which was 6 months later, I got arrested at 4 or 5 o'clock and got released at 6 in the morning.
Were they kind to you when you were in jail?
No.
No, they were not. Okay.
Yeah, we were housed like in the garage and stuff, but they weren't really friendly, but they gave us a bologna sandwich and something to drink after a few hours.
Okay. Well, I'm glad they gave you a bologna sandwich.
Yes.
But I wish they would have been nice to you.
Yeah, I wish they were a little nicer, but they
weren't.
They were not.
Even though things are looking really grim right now, grimmer than they have in a long time, do you have any silver linings or things that you're hopeful about?
I'm hopeful, or I'm glad that there are many, many people who disagree with Trump and is against what he's doing, that they rise up and protest like last Saturday, which I wished I was there, but I couldn't do it. And our judges that say, no, that's not happening.
And the ACLU? I'm
also glad that I live in a state that's progressive and would protect people like me. I'm lucky. And the fact that I live less than 5 miles from Canada.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
So you could always just hike it over there.
Yes.
Claim asylum in Canada.
Yeah.
Sounds great to me. No, I don't want to do that, but I'm glad that you have that option.
No, do I.
I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so glad we could talk to you and you had so many good things to say. We haven't had a lot of people talk to us a lot about intersectionality or about being in protest. So that was great. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Boldly today. We're so glad you were here, and we hope you have a good day.
Boldly Challenging Ableism is a co-production of AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and the Institute on Community Integration at the University of Minnesota. For more information, please visit ici.umn.edu.